Hey, what's going on? Zach here. Today we're going to be talking about how to I'm going to be breaking down today's episode into 3 layers. So layer 1 is just shooting the band shot, so getting your essentials. Layer 2 is getting your story segment, and layer 3 is taking the 2 other layers and putting it into one layer. Just one. Okay, so layer 1 for your music video is the band shot. So let's say you get hired to shoot a music video and the label just wants band shots. Because you're kind of limited on creative story elements, you can try and utilize your location as a form of an interesting canvas. Now, depending on what your song is, really depends on what your location is. So let's say you're shooting a grunge metal band, you would shoot it in an old factory or a garage. Or if you're shooting a lighter, more kind of easygoing song, you would shoot it on a beach or maybe a field. Essentially, you want it to kind of mirror how they would look on stage. So have your lead in the foreground, your drummer in the back, and then let's say you have 2 guitarists, they would go on either side. If you have an individual artist, let's say just them playing, you'd have them center and just singing outwards. And I kind of like to reflect what it would be like if they're performing on stage. So always get them to try and imagine that they're performing out to an audience to kind of give it a grander feel. Essentially, what you want to do is get coverage of every single band member. I prefer getting 9 shots of everything. I like getting a wide and then 2 shots coverage of each and every single band member. If you don't have time for that, what you want to do is get your essentials, which is basically a wide of everything. Let's say you want to have some fun and spice things up. I recommend shooting your close-up in 24 frames or regular speed, and then your medium, if you can, in high speeds, like 60 frames per second. That way you have a lot more footage to work with in the editing suite, and you have a really cool looking style. There's something about band members playing in slow motion that just looks really, really awesome. So again, get 2 shots of every single band member, then play it all out in a wide. You should have 9 shots in the end. That gives you lots to edit in the editing suite. If you guys want to know how to edit a music video, I have a tutorial in the links below. Okay, layer 2. Now, layer 2 is just the story segment. So just imagine you're shooting a short film that has no audio. It's really fun creatively because you get to kind of do anything you want. And the nice thing is, if you screw up somewhere, it's a music video. It's art. I'm just kidding, don't make that a thing, but it's nice to kind of have a cushion to fall back on in case. What I like to do with the story segments of the song is kind of ask the artist what they were feeling when they were writing the music, or what did the lyrics mean, and try and get them to correspond with the lyrics as much as possible. Now, a lot of music videos kind of put that aside and just do their own thing creatively. I like to have some sort of anchor back towards the song so that it is a platform/canvas to work off of when it comes to creating a concept. You also want to try and do something new and try and do something cool and crazy, whether it's all in reverse or a one take or shot on a camera that you always wanted to try out. Try playing around with things because you find yourself becoming more creative when you're giving yourself new tools to work with. Once you have your story and structure kind of figured out, now it's time to shoot that sequence. Now, your shooting style can really how you shoot it is completely up to you and it's completely your style. But what I can recommend is shooting a lot of it in slow motion. You see a lot of music videos pulling this off because you can do it. It's a music video. You're not playing with dialogue. You're not trying to sync audio up. The only audio you're syncing up is the one to the music. It also helps you out financially because you have more footage to work with in a less amount of time. If you're shooting on a really tight time frame in a location, shoot at high speed, therefore you have more footage to work with, beautiful moments to play around with, and it just looks more music video-y. That being said, if you have a very fast-paced music video and you need it to play in real time, then go for it. Other than that, just shoot it like you're shooting a film. Shoot it like you're shooting a narrative. You want to get your coverage, which essentially is your mediums, your wides, and your close-ups. If you're shooting in a bad location, shoot more close-ups. If you're shooting in a really cool location, shoot a lot of wides. And now layer 3, which is compiling those 2 things together. Now let's say you have a band who wants a story included in their music video, but they also want to be included in the music video. My biggest recommendation is make sure that those 2 storylines have a cohesive theme. So whether it's a set design, prop, coloring, cinematography, take a look at these music videos for instance. I use the theme of flickering lights to bring those two scenes together. I also use a similar color palette within it. And that is it. Those are all my tips and tricks to shoot music videos. You guys can check out again the tutorial on how to edit a music video in the description below. But again, just have fun with it. Music videos are a really fun way to kind of just get your creative juices flowing and try out different things that otherwise you probably won't have chances to do in traditional narrative, corporate work. So play around, experiment, and try new things. Now, these are the tips and tricks that I use. They might not work for your music video, but they are some basics and you can use them as kind of roots to expand your ideas and grow from there. All right, I'm Zach Ramelan, and subscribe. You guys can look at my notes in the description below, but yeah, keep things fresh, and that's all I like to say about that. All right. It's always weird, like, saying, leave.